this is Dawn Keane, Brett Keane's wife. Just want to let you know, ratings are available, but the ability for you to view the ratings has been disabled. Comments are on approval, so be nice and you'll be approved. God bless and have a wonderful day.
Damn. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Unfortunately, my Logitech webcam that I was using is no longer functioning. When I plug it in, it simply crashes. It's just not happening. I'll probably have to go look all over the internet for some kind of solution. But until then, I wanted to talk about some things with you all out there. Some people out there who are believers, Christians, have said, Brett, why don't you try to convert the amazing atheist? Now, we're going to talk about that, but I also want to respond to something that Paul's ego was talking about on the Drunken Peasants recently. As most of you remember, I did a video where I kind of goofed on the amazing atheist and Paul's ego about having micromanagement. Now, if you don't know what that means, just simply go through the other videos and you can figure it out for yourself. Now, well, actually, I'll probably have to somewhat explain this to you due to the fact of the concept of what we're getting into. Whenever I was doing a live hangout, probably about a month ago, there was a YouTuber, an atheist female, who actually said to me in text chat on the outside of my live broadcast, a lot of people witnessed this and seen this, where she said that she was 15 years old and claimed that Paul's ego actually would talk to her on Skype and ask her to take images of herself, and that he sent images of himself. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, what kind of images are these? Are these Pennywise pictures? Are these pictures of him showing off his ears or something? Situation? No. 15-year-old girl claims that he actually sent imagery of the sexual kind. So, if the pictures that she has shown me, Mr. Paul's ego, are true, then yes, you have very small micromanagement. That's the answer to your question. Now, some Christians out there are saying to me, they said, Brett, I know you're not a Christian. I know you call yourself a theist. You believe in God. And some people don't understand it because I believe in Jesus, but on the other hand, I don't sit there and take every word in the Bible as being the complete and overall Word of God. Now, I'll explain this. I don't believe that God put all information that he knows and understands, and I also believe that the Bible leaves it up to mystery for several different reasons. God does not tell us everything. He just simply tells us how to live, and the Bible is also based upon the generations and history of men who interacted with it. So I believe there's a lot more to God and what God has to say that just simply isn't in the Bible yet, if that makes sense. I believe the true answers will come whenever we die. And then we'll be before God and he'll tell us what's up. So Christians have asked me, they said, Brett, you have access to the amazing atheist. Why don't you attempt to convert him over to theism or the belief in God? And the simple answer is, I do not think that that is possible. I believe that God has a great deal of power, and I believe that God has the ability to reach out and grab someone if he wants to. But I think that people like the amazing atheist fit a certain role. I think that there are some people out there who are meant to be the way they are. And either as an example of what it would be like in a world without God, what it's like when man gets to create his own choices, and I think that TJ is in that position. So I don't think that there's a point in even bothering with this. The second reason is I think that TJ is very angry at the Christian church out there. Now, TJ may make a video and say something ridiculous and drunken peasants like saying, "Oh no, I'm not mad at Christians." But I don't know how he couldn't be. You see, a while back, his entire family was impacted by Christians, and impacted by the Christian schools and universities out there and organizations, because they ended up suing his family due to his father, who shares the same exact name as him, was going around and claiming that he was going to give people a diploma and credentials for their education. There are literally over 1,000 cases and accounts of the father of the Amazing Atheist screwing over Christian youngsters and Christians who were going to the schools and organizations that were founded and put together by the Amazing Atheist's father. When they all came together and found out they were scammed, they ended up suing the piss out of TJ's entire family. So what ended up happening in this process is TJ's father ends up in prison for 5 years. So why do you think it is that he came to the internet and called himself the Amazing Atheist? Why do you think it is that he believes that religious people are stupid and ignorant? It's not based upon a theological thing. TJ's already made it clear that he doesn't want to get into discussions arguing whether there's a God or not, or if Christianity is true, because he's already got a bias against Christianity, because Christians held his father and his family accountable, which actually impacted his life and Scotty's life personally. So, I mean, what do you do with that? How do you talk to someone like that, where their father completely and utterly destroyed the lives of thousands of people, and then it impacts you? Why do you think one of the reasons is that TJ didn't make it through high school? Could you imagine being the son of a guy who ripped off thousands of Christians? America is a majority of Christianity. Could you imagine being little TJ Kincaid running around in school and everybody knows your dad fucking scammed the piss out of everybody? His livelihood was screwed with. Financially, he was fucking destroyed. And on top of that, no one's ever going to trust a family like that again, because they're going to wonder to themselves, well, where was TJ involved in all this? TJ's already admitted to the entire world that he worked for his dad. So he was there, he knew it, he knew that money laundering and exchanges and extortion was going on, and the only excuse he'll give you is, well, I was young, I didn't know any better, blah, blah, blah. TJ already admits in his videos that even at a young age, he was quite aware and feels that he was smarter than all the other kids out there and people. He even said that his father put him in a position where he could literally go tell people to leave or that they were unemployed, such as firing them. Said that he would answer the phone calls of people calling in businesses and companies. So of course he knew what was going on. How can you not answer the phone and realize that these adults who are talking to you are explaining to you what the hell's going on? Unless the Amazing Atheist wants to claim that he was fucking stupid and unself-aware between 10 and 15 years old or into his later on age. But the Amazing Atheist, if you watch a video of him called The Amazing Atheist Punches His Own Father, that's right, he actually admits to hitting his own dad. He tells you very clearly that him and his father had quite a bit of time. There was quite a bit of time to understand each other and comprehend what was going on. So that would explain it. Why else would he leave high school for, unless there was a bunch of people out there who couldn't stand him, didn't want him around? He probably had to move from area to area and shit. Unfortunately, this scam didn't just happen in his area. It happened in quite a few different places in the United States of America. It didn't take long for him, whenever he put his face on video, everybody knew who he was. So you see, how do you sit there and open someone's mind to God, or open someone's mind to any kind of religion, if that same religion held your family accountable and took your money and took your livelihood from you, and also made it to where you had to move all over the place, probably losing what few friends you actually had? So no, I don't think it's possible to get through to them. And then there's a third reason. A lot of atheists now on the internet, in case you haven't noticed, are making a lot of fucking bread. They're making a lot of green by selling t-shirts and doing these talk shows where they diss on religious people. Could you imagine what would happen for those out there who probably noticed? Look what happened to Brett Keane when Brett Keane converted from atheism to believing in God. I'm treated like an apostate by atheists. Could you imagine what would happen if the Amazing Atheist or Cult of Dusty or Thunderfoot were to come out on video and state, alright, I believe that it's rational and logical to believe in God. I am now a theist. Do you realize the shitstorm that would happen if TJ did that, if he truly found God? The atheists out there are very theistic unless you haven't noticed. They hate the concept of God. I can't do one single live hangout without atheists being attracted to coming in and having a desire to argue and put down and belittle God in some kind of way. It's like the devil. The devil just can never take a break. He always has to be involved and always has to sit there and be in some kind of position where he can attack God. So imagine what it would be like being an atheist who's making thousands of dollars off the atheist community, one day sees a miracle, or one day sees something that he can't explain. What's he going to do? These people have already shown him while he's an atheist that they're not rational and logical. He can't ever come out and say that he's a believer. Just look at me as an example. I was one of the most hardcore, roughest atheists that you could ever listen to and pay attention to on videos. I was the type of guy that went out to churches. I was the guy that called up people and argued with them. And when I became a theist, it's like they didn't even give a shit anymore. They didn't care. If the Amazing Atheist became a Christian, or a Thunderfoot, or Cult of Dusty, or any of these guys, it would be over. The paycheck would stop. There'd be no money. These people wouldn't want to hear him anymore unless he was completely ill-mannered and doing the kind of shit that he does now, and he knows that. So right now, he's comfortable. He's comfortable in one way, but uncomfortable in another. Uncomfortable in the fact that for the rest of his life, as long as he wants to make any money, he has to play a certain role. He's like a puppet, and he probably thinks in his head that he's got some kind of control, that the people that are watching him are the fucking puppets. But the fact is, TJ's the puppet, because he has to constantly do certain things and act a certain way in order for these people to even give a shit about him. How do I know that? Because I've seen TJ outside of character. I've seen the Amazing Atheist, and then I've seen the guy who's doing TJ Does Life. Two totally different characters, two different people, and they just didn't give a shit. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.